Hey, welcome everybody. TGD today, it's Tech Talk with Al Cloy. We got Dr. Grind in the house. Hello, Doc.
Good morning. Good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing great. If I was any better, I'd be HR3.
Man, you can't beat it. That's right.
Yeah.
How are you, Pinky?
No.
I'm hanging, Pinky.
Yeah. I impressed you with my head cover yesterday, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. You did.
Yeah.
I like your blue grip.
I'm going. See, I wasn't gonna bring it up.
That's right.
I couldn't resist.
Yep.
All right. I'm not going there.
That's right.
You'll fall down. You'll hurt yourself. Hip dysplasia or something. I'm not even going to go there.
We got to keep him in good shape.
What are we doing Tech Talk today?
We're doing Tech Talk is utilization of all the clubs in your bag inside of 20 yards.
Whoa. Hold on.
Whoa. That's right.
Utilization of all your clubs inside 20. Do you teach a class on this? HR?
Somewhat.
Okay. Whatever.
Not all your clubs, but inside. We're wanting to talk about today is inside.
Not being one-dimensional, I think, is where he's going.
Not being
Okay.
one dimension. There's a lot of options. Well, basically,
A lot of options.
A lot of options.
Inside of 20 yards.
Yes, sir.
Is that using a Tiger 4-iron to carry a bunker?
You can't beat it.
Is that what we're talking about?
You can't be.
Are you going to teach that shot
Typically-
here behind the?
Oh, Dad, I've got two. Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
Typically, a lot of people, as soon as they get in that range, the first thing they'll grab, is a wedge.
Uh-huh.
Just in general.
60,
just
58,
mentality.
56,
Yep.
whatever. Doesn't
Grab a
matter.
wedge, that's right.
Okay. All right.
There's so many other clubs that you can use, and we've seen this in the past. With putters, off the fringe.
Right.
And especially even a little longer. If the fringes and the fairways are cut short and tight.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen at Augusta, we saw some fairway woods, like 3 woods, being used.
Hybrids.
Yep. So I brought in a, kind of a 3 wood to give and I'll let HR3 kind of. Why would I use this to chip with when I'm at Augusta?
Something like that is to be used when you have a small sort of the ball, like Tiger's ball. We saw it behind 16 when it was laying against the fringe. If you have, not in that situation, but if you have a lie similar to that and a lot of green between you and the hole.
Okay.
So you can catch more of, you can swing the 3 wood through there like a putter almost, and it goes through the rough, but it catches about halfway up the ball and it gets it rolling. And that's an easier way to do it. Yeah. And if you're trying to do it with a wedge, or if you're trying to take an 8-iron and do it, you might hit grass and then muff it, or you might scull it. This gives you a little more of you can swing the club a little more on a level plane.
So the 3 would kind of help you not to put a Hunter Mahan on it.
Yes.
Okay.
Or George Honeycutt, yeah.
Or George Honeycutt doesn't do the Hunter Mahan.
That's
Just
right.
letting you know.
Just
I got the
record.
best hands in the industry, and you know that. All right, moving on. So a 3 wood and a hybrid would do the same thing,
Hybrid
right?
do the exact same
And
thing.
That's
Okay.
what I've done also is I brought a hybrid in. And there's a couple ways you can go, on the hybrids around the green. One is to go with a hybrid that has a mid loft range. This particular one here is a Tour Edge Exotic, and it's a 25 degree. So it's got some loft on it, which will get the ball airborne. And then once it'll carry for a little bit, and then when it hits, it'll kind of run out.
But don't plan for any backspin.
No, that's what I'm saying. When they hit,
this is where you've got space.
yep,
So you're not trying to take a sand wedge and loft it in the air.
You're not
and
trying to
have it
carry
judge.
something.
No.
that's correct. Yeah, it's like we call it the Ballybunion run.
The
You know,
Ballybunion run.
No. And it's something that if you're not comfortable with a 6-7 iron, something like that from short of the green, where you want to hit a bump and run, it's another good way to do it because it makes it feel like a putter, but yet it's got more loft and it will get it up and running for you.
Now, and the key thing is using these shots is you're getting the ball rolling towards the target instead of flying the ball to the target and then hoping on either backspin or forward release, whatever have you. So what you can do is you have sometimes a greater chance of actually getting the ball in the hole versus a flop shot that's.
Now let's say let's use case in point like the European Tour is currently in China, and the golf course that they're at this week is extremely firm.
Yes, sir.
Extremely dry. and the green complexes are very hard. They are tabletops. They're getting no check. They're hitting shots inbound from literally as short as 150, and the balls are bouncing over the greens into back rough areas or hazards or whatever. I saw this morning during coverage many of the guys literally putting from 10, 15 yards off the green.
British Open.
Yeah, very much link style type of golf, but they were also not being quite successful because the pins were in precarious places on the bottoms of ridges, whatever it may be.
Yes.
So thusly, they were saying, okay, I got to put it up this hill, then I got to get it up over the crest of the hill on the green, and then I got to try to get it to stop. And there weren't too many successful. I mean, you sit and look at the scores. There are 4 players at plus 10. There are 4 players at plus 14. So the golf course was taking its toll because these guys may not have the creative minds that we're sitting there talking about right now.
Exactly.
They're trying to use a putter or they're trying to use a lob wedge.
And then when you go to doing that, you don't have your normal conditions where you're hitting pitch shots, or even if you're hitting, little check shots, that you've got grass where the ball sits up to where you can create that. So it's imagination, and that's the thing we're talking about: getting away from one-dimensional. Quit being one-dimensional.
One thing I do to kind of get me in a mindset, Al and Hugh, is let's say that I come up short, a club short or 2 clubs short, whatever. It's normally 3, but let's say I come up a club short on a green, but I'm in that little run-up area at the front of the green.
Right.
I've got 10 yards to go up there, but one thing I do to help me get in the mindset of what club I need to pick, and secondly, to get me in the mindset of the shot that I want to make, is I'll act like it's a putt, and I start reading the green. Is when I get it up there, is it going to break right to left? Is it uphill? Is it downhill? And that kind of puts me into the mindset of a checklist almost. Do I need to hit a pitch and run like a 7-iron or a 6-iron? Do I need to hit a wedge and get it up there and make it check? Do I need to hit a hybrid and just get it on top of the green and get it rolling? And I need to aim 10 feet right because it's going to break 10 feet. So is that kind of a good mindset to kind of get yourself into to get creative? I mean, is that what you're looking at? I'm asking the question. You're the instructor.
You're dead on, because that's what you should do. I don't care where you are around the green.
Oh, okay. All right.
If you're in a bunker, I don't care.
Most of us, but just want to get out of the bunker.
I understand.
We just want to hit it.
But I'm just saying that's where you look at slopes. You look at what's going to help you control that ball to get it close to that hole. Just because you're reading it and looking at it this way doesn't mean you're Phil Mickelson and trying to hole everything.
Exactly.
Utilizing what's there to help you get this as close as possible to try to get it up and down and get the Sam Hill out of there.
So, Pro, let me ask you this. We just hit, and Al, I'm taking over your show again. Sorry.
No, this is fun.
Psychologically, okay? If I just walk into a bunker and the first thing it is I tell myself I'm horrible in the bunker.
Yeah.
I can't get it out of a bunker. Or even walking up to it, I'm dead meat. I'm in a bunker.
Yeah, then you're toast.
You're saying that if I walk in the bunker and look up and say, well, this thing breaks hard right to left, I've got to fly it to this point, I've got to do, then basically I've taken all the negative thoughts out of my brain.
Absolutely, because now say you go in a bunker, I mean, perfect example.
What can I do with this?
Perfect example. Look at Augusta, number 18, Saturday. Pins front right. Guys are hitting it in that right bunker. Correct?
Correct.
99.9% of the people standing there that are average golfers watching the Masters look at that and go, this is double. They got no shot. How many of them hit it 30 feet up the slope to the right of the flag, let it hit that hill, and it roll right back down there and almost go in? Or if it did not, a couple of them did go in.
They play it as a backstop.
They use it as a backstop to control stopping the ball, because if they go at the flag, yes, they have no chance.
Right. It'll go over the green, down in the
So now you see where I just came from.
Right.
Right. This is about walking in there and looking and going, what can I use to help me do this?
Exactly. Exactly. Yes, sir.
Now, granted,
and it's not automatically the lob wedge.
Granted, God and Mother Nature didn't make it, But there's a lot of things around there the architects put into this green that can help you do what you need to do.
That's exactly right.
And it may not be the most direct way at that flag, but it might be the most proficient way to get to that flag.
Oh, good stuff. Preach, brother.
Yes, sir.
So you see what I'm saying?
Good stuff.
So you go and get on you get somebody around a green, and the thing people have to understand, because I watch these kids, and folks, I'm sorry, and the parents know me well enough, and they still bring their kids to me. I'll go watch them, and first thing they do is pull a sand wedge out of their bag,
that's
and
why I wanted to
start
have this
cussing
show.
and
That's why-
screaming.
Yep.
Because I'm like, why? Well, I missed the green. This is what I chip with.
Right.
Why? What depicts you use a sand wedge when I'm sitting here and I've got 25, 30 foot of green between me and the flag?
And what I find interesting too, Pro, is they'll pull the sand wedge, and the first thing they do is they start de-lofting it to a 6-iron.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get a lot of forward press. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So why not just hit a 6-iron?
That's it.
And
That's
the thing that I have learned.
Am I asking a wrong question?
Oh no.
No.
You're asking the dead right.
Yep.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. People have to understand. There's a lot of great short game instructors in the world. Okay, a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
Phil Rogers is one of the best I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
To this day, bar none.
Mm-hmm.
They can talk about whoever they want. Him talking about hitting the bump and run to where the heel of the club's off the ground, you've got it underneath your eyes like a putter, and your hands are up high, and you're putting your hands literally dead opposite of each other so nothing breaks down. So if you have the yips, folks, and you want to try to bring that into this scenario, you lose because you have no argument. You do your hands to where they're dead opposite this way, and you sit there, and that heel's off the ground, and all you're doing is like a putter and do this with a 7-iron. All you got to do is carry it about 4 or 5 feet.
Mm-hmm.
You got 35 foot of green. That ball's going to fly the fringe, land on the green, and then if you've read it properly,
Yep.
it's going to roll just like a putt towards that flag.
Exactly. Exactly.
So why
Yes,
would
sir.
you want to take something and try to chip it with a sand wedge, not knowing if it's going to check, if you're going to carry it too far, if you're going to
Junk and dunk?
if you're going to flub it?
100 million.
It's about using your brain. What's the simplest, most efficient way to get this ball rolling on the ground towards my target? End of story.
As quickly
End of
as
story.
possible.
As quickly as possible.
Okay. Go back through that grip again.
You just your left hand's, if you're a right-handed player, your left hand is extremely weak.
Okay.
Let me see that. Let me see it close. Just give me that. That's
Jeff
fine.
Potter's fine.
All right. So if you're sitting there and you're going to do this, most people grip it. Most
Yeah,
people have strong.
the
grips,
conventional
whatever.
grip, yep.
All right? Take your left hand to where your thumb is literally left side of that grip.
Okay.
Okay, and you see it's up into my palm. Okay, my right hand, same thing, and it's like riding a Harley. I've got it underneath, and I'll do it to where it's a 10-finger grip, or I'll lay, reverse overlap, whatever. But I'm making them opposites.
So the wrists don't have any way of
There is
breaking
no
down.
way to bend them. I mean, it's
Well,
almost.
you referred to the rip. Yips. So
Yeah.
what you're doing is
It
you're
is-
taking the wrist
it's
out of it.
almost impossible. That takes all I have to do that right there.
Right.
Okay. So when you're hitting this, it keeps that locked. So
Then it becomes your shoulders.
yeah.
It becomes your shoulders and your chest that are
Great
controlling
Your
it.
sternum and
Okay?
your
Your
shoulders.
arms and everything stay connected.
Okay.
And what I mean by this, folks, say this is a 6-iron. Okay. The toes here, the heel looks like that. Okay.
Okay.
So it looks like this when you're chipping. You're trying to chip it off of this toe.
That's
Where my
correct.
finger is right there, that's where I'm trying to hit it. Why? Because it's dead. The ball's not going to jump off and come off out of control. If I hit it here, I don't know how it's coming off.
Yep. It's be a
If
little
I hit
hotter.
it here, I can be as aggressive as I want, and it comes off so soft that I can hit it harder or softer or whatever I need to do. But you don't ever want to hit a bump and run shot where your club looks flush like that.
No.
Because number one, the leading edge can catch. You can hit it solid, and that thing takes off running, comes off low.
Well, plus two, if I'm catching it with, let's say, with the flat lie,
Yeah.
then that ball's also staying on those grooves longer too.
Oh,
so I'm
absolutely.
producing more spin.
You could
That's
be,
correct.
or it
Yep.
could actually jump off of this and be out of control. It could give you two
Well, yeah,
different
I could-
scenarios.
yeah,
Okay,
I could get
But
a
when you
trampoline
do it,
effect,
when
yeah.
you set it to where the top of my iPad right there, you can see it'll be about like so.
Okay.
All right, it won't be
That's
as
pretty ra-
drastic as I
yeah,
had
yeah,
it,
yeah, but that's
you-
still pretty
but
radical.
you can see the space between the heel and
Yeah, I
the ground.
do. Yeah,
okay?
it's obvious.
So when I hit this, I'm hitting down on it, and I'm hitting it with the toe of the club, so it comes off dead.
And again, your hands are higher, just like a putt,
Look
right?
at the shaft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ball's underneath
The shaft's
my eyes.
more upright than
Yeah.
what
The
it
ball's
would be.
underneath my eyes, and I mean it can't be any more than, I don't know, maybe like that in front of my toes. And you play it wherever you want to carry it and get it in the air as far as you need to go. But I mean, I've used a 6-iron from a bump and run from up to 100 feet
Oh yeah.
Right.
and pitched it up there like this, and tapped it
Tapped
in
it
and said
in.
adios, let me the heck
See
out
you
of here.
later.
Right.
And that's what we're talking about is you don't be afraid to experiment with stuff when you're out there goofing off playing if you're out playing with your kids, or kids, if you're out playing with your dad, hit a couple of balls around the greens. Try different clubs, different things. Try to hit
Use the noggin. Yep.
just don't be
Good point.
one-dimensional.
Right.
Use your imagination.
Yep.
God gave them to them. You gave them to us. Use
Yep,
them.
use
There
them.
is not one particular way that's the perfect way to do everything.
No,
Now, granted, there are fundamentals of how you do them, but you can try different things to find out what makes you more comfortable, and you see how things work.
Many years I have used the hybrids. I have used fairway metals. Like you mentioned earlier, you're up against the second cut of rough, the heavy rough.
Oh, trying to belly a sandwich is the hardest thing in the world.
Right. And so I've pulled out the hybrids, and people look and go, "Oh, yeah, I heard about that," or "Oh, I've never seen that before," or "Do you practice that?" That's the question. Well, it's not so much do I practice it. You maybe should be practicing if you're having to ask the
But
question.
you see, when you go do that and you use that hybrid, the heel never sits flush on the ground.
I make sure it doesn't.
It's up.
Yeah.
And so
Because I'm choking. I'm treating it just like a putter. As a matter of fact, I have even on occasion, I cross hand putt.
Yep.
And I've even on occasion taken a hybrid and used my cross hand grip
Yeah.
just like my putter, and then the hybrid just kicked it up in the air just enough to get it over a fringe,
Yep.
and then it gets on the ground as quickly as possible, and I get it to rolling like a
yeah,
putt.
and that's what I'm saying. You can, you talk, not to interrupt,
sure,
Al,
sure.
but
Yes, sir.
you putt cross-handed, and that's fine. But
Yes.
like I said, if you go and do this, it gives you that same sensation. You would
And-
never feel the difference.
And I haven't worked on that, but I guarantee you I will be tomorrow.
That's the way
So-
that Daddy taught me, and when I met Mr. Rogers, he showed me the same thing. He goes, "Hugh, how'd you learn how to do that?" I said, "Well, Daddy showed me your thing on."
And again, you could do interlocking, you could do layover, you could do 10-finger.
You just want
could
left hand
You just
weak.
want that both those palms basically facing
You want the palms
the bottom
opposite.
of the club,
You basically want both palms facing up at your face.
up at the face.
Yep.
Got it.
Definitely.
Got it. Now, okay, so
Oh, and
this is another aspect of don't expect to go out and be able to pull these shots off
First
by just
time.
playing golf.
Yeah, no.
You got to practice.
And another key thing that that the Godfather brought up earlier, is the choking down on the club. When we do this,
Yeah.
you typically you will be down close to the bottom of the grip, instead of the top of the grip, holding it traditional.
And I think that varies on individual.
Yeah,
I
it
think-
varies on
I
the
think
individual, yeah.
You can choke down to feel like if you feel like you have more control. With me, I feel like the closer I get up to the end of the grip and I've got my hands opposite like that, it's not a
Okay.
belly putter, but it's that situation because my arms are jammed against my body.
it's almost right there at your
Therefore,
belt.
all I have
at
to
your belt
do
line.
is
Yeah.
just rock my shoulders to control the
Right,
speed of
right,
this thing.
right.
With
The
you.
more
Yeah.
you choke down, the more you extend your arms. Now there's more for you to have to control.
Ah,
Okay.
good point.
So belly putters are
Didn't
being
think of it
made
that way.
illegal, but I mean, if you can get it to where you can lock your arms against you, which Mr. Rogers said in a bump and run, this is what you want, then you get your hands opposite. You can't go hitting at it with your hands. So now you just practice. And it's-
You're hitting the shot from here to here.
yeah, it's
from the
basically
sternum
with my
and
chest
the shoulders.
and the shoulders, and that's exactly right. And so it's like.
Not your legs, not your knees. You're not doing a full wind-up swing.
And folks, if you can't go to the you don't have a chipping
Because so
green-
many people we see in a short game aspect, they take the club back and then they decel.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that's their speed control is
Exactly.
the decel swing.
And that's the, and
that's
the thing.
wrong.
And there's and the thing that I'd like to say to most people is, well, we don't have a short game area, and there are certain golf courses around here they don't have chipping and short game
No.
areas. Okay, so if you don't, when you go out late in the afternoon by yourself or with your child and or your wife or whoever, your buddies, and you want to play a quick 9 holes and you're walking at a country club or whatever, don't be afraid to start practicing and testing this stuff then. It may not work the first couple times, but keep doing it till you get used to it, and all of a sudden you make one and you go, oh, dude.
I found something.
I can't tell you how many times I've chipped in doing it stuff this way. It's ridiculous.
Yep. And then one other little club I brought.
Well, you brought the chipper.
Yeah, brought the chipper, and then this is just we actually get quite a bit of call for these off and on. But basically, this is a putter with a lot of loft on it, and that's the definition of a chipper. They're definitely not for everybody.
And they're illegal as crap in a golf tournament.
And they're illegal in a golf tournament. But a lot of amateurs, or people that struggle around the green, they are out there, and it could benefit you.
It used to be all the manufacturers made them, but now there's only a select few left.
I mean, it's a versatile tool around the greens for
If you're a beginner,
Yes.
if you're just learning the sport,
Yes, sir.
If you've got the yips, like you said, especially in a chipping scenario, great little device.
Yep.
I find a lot of ladies coming in asking for it.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so great device. It's also good for seniors that maybe has some issues.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's a man that I got to know that he's got Parkinson's.
Right.
He can't hardly putt or chip, but he's got his little chipper, and he gets that in his hand, and he can sit there, and then he can just get a rhythm with it, and it takes all that away, and the club does it for everything for him. So, it's illegal in a golf tournament, but for you to go out and play golf and enjoy the game of golf, you're right. It could be a great, investment for somebody.
By the way, guys, I saw something a couple weeks ago I shared with you real quick. Tech Talk with Al Cloyd is I had an elderly gentleman above 80 that came in. He did have Parkinson's. He had a heavy shake, loves the game, plays every day. He had me grip his entire set of clubs with Super Strokes. 5-0s.
Yep.
The big jumbo grips.
Yep.
And he said, George, this is bigger than the jumbos that I could buy off your rack. But he goes, I've put it on a couple of clubs, including his driver. He put a putter grip on his driver.
Yep.
Which is illegal.
Yep.
Okay? He's not looking to
I know
play
that. Yeah.
USGA golf. And he goes, this is the only thing I can hold on to.
Yeah. I have a gentleman the same way.
They're making Super Stroke's starting to make them though.
I know
Yep.
that.
So they figured that out.
Jumbo Max also is another company that has made a oversized grip. Maybe one day we'll have them on the show. I keep them at the shop, and they're actually they're huge.
Right.
These things are massive. It's a jumbo grip plus a jumbo grip.
Yeah.
But their theory is that in most sports, like a baseball bat, the baseball bat is bigger around than your hands. In most tools that you use, you're not restricted.
Yeah, you're not touching
You got
index
it.
and
But
middle.
I don't personally. But anyway, for somebody that does have problems, it's really big down in Florida at the retirement golf communities.
Right.
They sell a lot of them down there.
Right.
For people that just have those issues with the fingers and the
Arthritis and whatever.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And who does this grip remind you of? Mo
Ed
Norman.
Fiore.
Mo
Mo
Norman.
Norman. Ed Fiore.
Mo Norman.
Yeah.
Natural golf. With those big
Interesting.
grips.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
He was underneath
Yeah.
with everything. And huge grips.
Yeah. Big time.
So that's interesting.
And he's a single
Mo,
swing.
and Mo stood with the ball about 4.5 feet in front of him, and then just that little half swing back, and then just unloaded with the sternum and the shoulders.
One of the few people that'd be right there and chance to win the Masters
Best
and
ball strikers.
walk off the golf course because the play was too slow.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Interesting. Good stuff. Enjoyed it.
Yes, sir.
Good subject matter, Dr. Al.
Thank you very, very
All right,
much.
Tech Talk with Al Cloyd, of course, right here on TGD Today with HR3 and, of course, Godfather, where TGD Radio and TV are produced and broadcast by the Zeus Radio Network for thegolfdirector.com. When visiting The Golf Director, be sure to check out our featured course pages. where you'll find up-to-date information about golf course conditions, specials, and much, much more. Need help with your next golf vacation? Hey, just call Dave. Give us a call, 844-GO-GOLF1. You can reach us at 844-464-6531. All of our programming is archived for listening and viewing on demand. Catch up on any show you may have missed. Click on the radio or the TGD TV tab in the menu screen at thegolfdirector.com. We're now available on over 1 billion devices at iTunes, Audio Realm, TuneIn, YouTube, Ustream, Roku, Blueberry, and, of course, Myrtle Beach Golf app. For the three of us, we have enjoyed being with you today, and we want to thank Jeff behind the glass, and we want to thank you for tuning in. There's more golf news and information coming up next. All right, boys, I got to go.
All right. Rock and roll. Thank you.
I got to get to her birthday party.
I figured that'd be something.
I get to go to Shasberry.